Now this is one of those ones where it's actually highly variable, and what I'm talking about now is the way your body looks hour to hour, day to day. Okay, because for everyone, your body is going to change day to day in terms of the actual visual representation. You know, you drink more water one day, you perhaps don't sleep as well one day, you're going to look different as a result. And this unfortunately throws a lot of people off because they try to track progress by going solely on one variable. So they'll use the weighing scales and they'll kind of go, oh, I stepped on the scales, my weight is up, progress is fucking shit, and I'm gonna have to change my diet. Not looking at the bigger scale and going, well, actually, I've lost 3 kilos in the last 2 weeks, and my weight has only gone up, 0.5. And actually, yeah, I did have a little bit more salt yesterday. I did have a little bit more fiber yesterday, and I did have a little bit more water yesterday. And they just forget about all those variables, and then they go, no, everything has to change because of that one measurement, that one fluctuation up. So you have to think that the body is a smart entity. It does change based on the variables that you put into it, so it isn't going to look the exact same every single day and every single hour, and what you'll see propagated on social media is people doing before and after pictures on the same day. They're like, in the morning, oh, I'm shredded, and in the evening I'm bloated and watery, and it's like, this is completely normal. This is not some magic. This is not some, oh, I'm a normal normal person too. It's not. Every single human goes through this. It's not even a thing. I don't even understand why people have to tell other people about it. Like, surely you've noticed this about yourself since you were a child. You wake up in the morning, you're full of energy, you go to bed at night because you're tired. Like, your body changes through a 24-hour cycle. Like, it's not groundbreaking news, it's not earth-shattering news. Like, it is what being a human means, like what it means to be a human. Like, it shouldn't be a thought. It shouldn't be a thought in the fit fam, right? But with that in mind, your body will change day to day. Your body will change hour to hour. So you shouldn't be marking your progress on one variable at one time point, especially if you're doing that one variable at one time point at different time points in a day. So what you'll see people do is they'll go take a picture of themselves in the morning in unnatural lighting, like your light in your room or whatever, and then they'll take a picture of themselves 3 days later, but it's the middle of the day. They've had 2 liters of water, 2 meals in, and they don't look the same. And they're going, oh man, progress is shit. So like, if you are tracking progress, you should be tracking progress based on the same inputs, the same variables. So if you're taking photos, especially, you should be taking them in the same place, the same lighting, the same time, the same variables, if you are actually looking to track progress. And this is one of those things that kind of surprises people as well when they meet people that are from the fit fam. They will see them on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever else, and they're posed under great lighting. They're shredded, they're vascular, and it's like, you see them in real life and it's like, no, you're not really that impressive at all. Like, you just look like a normal person, and people kind of go, oh, this is fake, like, oh, they enhance their photos, and it's like, no, they just are choosing their angles, they're just choosing their lighting, they're just maximizing their output, the stuff that they're putting out on social media. Like, they're making themselves look as good as possible by going by their natural day-to-day variables. Like, if you look shredded in the morning, you wake up slightly dehydrated, vascular, veins popping everywhere, and obviously you're going to take a photo then and upload that to social media, rather than if you're going, yeah, I feel shredded, I'm looking shredded in the morning, but 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I'm kind of have this film of water over me, I'm a little bit bloated from the day's food. Yeah, I'm not going to take that photo, I'm not going to upload that. Unless I'm going to look for the sympathy vote as well. Then I'll upload that. If I've been, people think I'm too shredded these days, I'm just going to put up that because, I'm normal too, So it's one of those things where humans do change hour to hour. Humans do change, or your body at least changes day to day, and it is a natural cycle. So it's not something that you should be going, oh fuck, I looked in the mirror there and I wasn't as shredded as I was this morning, I'm obviously doing something wrong. It is what it is. And you will notice this as well, your body may not follow the exact same template of a day that someone else's might follow. Like I know Gary, he always looks shredded in the evening, you know. By the end of the day, once he's had some carbs in him, once he's had his day's water in him, like he actually looks leaner, you know. Whereas for me, in the morning, like I look way leaner than I look at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I do look a little bit fuller because obviously I've got more carbohydrates in me, I've got a day's food in me, etc. But in the morning, I definitely look leaner, you know. So you will find this with different individuals. Your body reacts at different times of day to the stimulus. So you might feel, I'm shredded in the morning, that might be a perfect time for you to take progress pictures. You might feel, I'm shredded in the evening, that might be a perfect time for you to take progress pictures, you know. So, or you could do the exact opposite and be like, I actually just want to have an honest assessment on my physique. When do I look my worst? Because realistically, you want to look your best at your worst, if that makes sense. So I might go, okay, cool, I'm actually going to take my progress pictures at night because I want to ensure that I'm progressing with my normal day-to-day physique, not my wake up shredded lean physique, you know. So you do have to take that into account, that humans do change day to day. Your physique is going to change hour to hour, especially if you are putting in different inputs. Like, and this is actually a little bit more important if you are, say, dieting for a photo shoot, dieting for a competition. Like understanding your natural day-to-day variance, understanding how different inputs affect the visual appearance of your physique will obviously help you with your presentation on the hour of the shoot, the day of the shoot, the day of the competition, all of that kind of stuff. Like if you know, oh yeah, I'm really shredded when I haven't got any food in me, then, and you're going, my show isn't until 4 p.m, then you're going to have to start thinking about strategies to come up with so that you can bring your best physique for 4 o'clock rather than your normal best physique, which is at 8 a.m, you know. Like there's no point being absolutely shredded out of your mind at 8 a.m and then walking on stage at 4 p.m going, yeah, I'm bloated now, but like, man, you should look at the photos I took in my hotel room earlier on. Like it's irrelevant, you know. So you should be looking at all the variables that kind of go into changing your physique, but you should also not be worrying about these day-to-day, hour-to-hour variations unless they are something that is critical for your ultimate goal. Like if it is a photo shoot or it is a competition, like obviously it becomes more important. But if you're just a normal person and you're just going like, I actually just want to look like I'm in good shape, understanding that, yeah, okay, cool, my body looks a little bit different in the morning or it looks a little bit different in the evening, and I know that these different variables are kind of affecting how my body looks, how my body responds on the different measurements I'm taking, the scales, the tape measure, that kind of stuff, and you kind of go, okay, so that's why I'm not progressing as linearly as I thought I was, because I'm changing these kind of inputs and this is the output, you know. So understanding it a little bit better does obviously help, but also just understanding that it is completely normal that your body is going to change hour to hour and day to day will obviously help you in your long-term goals, you know. So if you do see any of these posts where it's like, oh, this is my morning physique and this is my evening physique, I'm so #relatable, like it's a null point. Like everyone does this. Obviously you're relatable. Like this, like what are you trying to show by putting these posts up? And I'm not just like targeting females with this, like you'll see guys do it as well, and it's like what, like everyone does this. Like this should be just common knowledge. Like your granny knows that her physique changes day to day, hour to hour, you know. And especially if you're a female, you're like, of course, like your physique changes like monthly on a kind of weekly schedule as well. So it's like this is not something that is groundbreaking, that like is earth-shattering, that you need to be like, oh fuck, I didn't know that my body changes based on the inputs and based on the environment. It's like, yes, this is the thing, this is what it's always been. It shouldn't be a conversation topic, you know. So the main kind of point from this is, if you are tracking progress, or if you are trying to peak for a certain event or peak for a certain hour even, like it could even be as a normal person, you're like, no, actually I want to look my best at this wedding that's at 6 p.m. in the evening, and you know, I kind of noticed that if I do have more carbohydrates, you know, I tend to hold a little bit more water and feel a little bit more bloated, but I want to feel light and whatever else, you know. So like maybe that is you. So you're kind of going, okay, so if I don't really need to worry about that too much day to day, but I have this event coming up that I want to be at my best, I want to look a certain way, then you can kind of go, I'm going to have to manipulate these variables that go into changing my physique day to day so that I can peak for this certain event, this certain time, this certain show, whatever it is, you know? So keep an eye on those things, but then also understand that it is completely normal, and it's not really that important as long as you're generally trending in the right direction. And then it's also not really that important in the overall grand scheme of things in terms of your actual physique. It just matters a bit more if you were trying to present your physique at a certain time or a certain day,